Nominee. Stephen Harrison, let me bring you in. Tell me about when you met Justice Scalia. You were studying, at Oxford, and he came to speak, and you won this spot at dinner. What was it you asked him?
Well, I asked him two questions. First, I asked him to assess President George W. Bush's leadership qualities. This was in 2008. And he sort of looked at me and looked around the room, and he said, I have the utmost respect for the Bush family and for George W. Bush, but a lot of my fellow Republicans believe that the other Bush brother was much brighter and that the wrong Bush brother became president.
The other Bush brother being the man who wants to be president currently, Jeb Bush.
Yes, that's right, Jeb Bush. And I was a little surprised that he would be so candid about this. And I think the other guests were surprised too, but I really think that was his personality. He was very forthright and always shared his opinion.
You also asked him about campaign finance reform. Some of his other comments to you are really telling about who he was as a person. Who did he tell you was his best friend?
He said Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg, hands down, was his best friend. He spoke very fondly of their friendship, even though they usually, and most of the time, disagreed.
Steve Vladeck, just back to you on the politics of all of this, not just in terms of the Republican primary folks who want to be president, but also on a Senate level re-election, especially in more moderate states. Sure. How nasty is this going to get?
I think that's going to be up to the Republicans in the Senate. I mean, I think the White House is going to walk this very carefully. I think we're going to get a nominee who they believe is very confirmable, perhaps someone who this very Senate has already confirmed. So someone like Judge Srinivasan in the D.C. Circuit, who was confirmed 98-0. And then it's going to be up to the Republicans in the Senate. Are they really going to try to run out the clock on President Obama, which is still 11 months, left in office? Or are they going to actually take seriously a nominee who's put forward in good faith, have the hearings, go through the full process, and see if that nominee receives enough support? The ball is really going to be in their court once President Obama puts forward a name.
Steve Vladeck, Stephen Harrison, thank you both so much. And as we go to break, reminder, live pictures here in Hanahan, South Carolina. We are watching and waiting to see Donald Trump. This is hours before George W. Bush hits the campaign trail on behalf of his brother Jeb Bush. Will the president triple down on his attacks against the former president?